Hi everyone, a huge welcome back to How to Build Your Team in 10 Days. We are on day 7. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody that has continued to show up every single day. We have loved being here with you guys, and I'm like, it's now in my routine. I'm in my sponsoring zone. So absolutely love it, and hopefully you guys are too. We have got a very special guest tuning in today to come and chat to you, which we are all super excited about. So let me just spotlight this one. Let's just change the screen. Hi guys. Welcome,
Morning.
welcome.
Hello, good
Huge welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So
We
much.
we're excited to be here. It's still dark outside,
It's
so
it's 7 a.m.
Very early where you guys are.
It is.
but
It
you've
is.
been quite late and quite early on our
Calls.
calls as well.
It's
So
our
we're
turn.
happy to be.
Oh, honestly, we're really grateful. So
Yeah, very, very grateful. Thank you.
thank
So
you.
first of all, good job coming together to learn and to grow. I hear it's day 7 now?
Yeah.
8, 7.
And then what? Do they graduate or?
We normally do at the end of it is they have a homework to do each time. I suppose we haven't really thought about a graduation, but it literally is just 10 days. The aim is to hopefully get a new teammate in 10 days. That is the aim.
Okay, so it's day 7. How many of you have found somebody already in 7 days?
Okay. Woohoo.
Got a
Yep.
couple
Two.
hands up. 3, 4.
Yeah. Woo.
We've had quite a few.
Okay, so we're going to start with some interaction.
Working on numbers 2 and 3. Karen, way to go.
Um, so we want to know what you've learned already.
Working on 2. Yay.
So this puts maybe y'all on the spotlight a little bit, but go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know what you've learned already, or maybe share an experience of finding your teamie.
Come on, guys, be brave.
Come on, be brave.
Quit being scared and just ask. I've got a plethora of people and just start asking and stop being so scared to offer the opportunity.
Yes. Yes, yes, I love
Yes.
that.
Do you have an example? Because you raised your hand, you have a teamie, right?
I do. I got one on Sunday. I got one earlier in the month, and I'm working on one right now. Just finding how it fits into their life and how Scentsy can bless them. Whether it's they love to shop and they can get their stuff for a discount or free, or kids in sports, just finding how it fits into their life, and showing them how Scentsy can fit and help with that.
Very good.
Where did you meet them? Were these people you already knew?
No, I met them through Scentsy Facebook parties.
Okay.
Very good.
So,
Very, very good. And a very good point that you bring up about sponsoring. When your sponsoring focus is how Scentsy can bless their life, then you're not asking them to do you a favor. You are offering them a solution to their problems. It's a huge mindset difference. And it's very hard to ask a stranger to do something to help you, right? If it's self-serving, it comes across strange. It doesn't, and it doesn't land very well. But when you have a solution to someone's problem and you meet them and they identify that problem for you, it is only natural and kind to offer that solution to them.
and what you're offering is a wonderful gift, I think. You're offering flexible income because, when they work, they make money. An amazing community. Look at all these friends that they could have. And then also personal growth. And I think that's probably the biggest hidden secret that people don't realize about direct selling is how, like, even myself, I've grown so much, so much. So it's not convincing somebody, it's inviting somebody.
Very, very good points. And I like, how you met somebody how you met them on Facebook parties. Social media it's such a difficult place because so much of it is toxic. But in the midst of all that toxicity, you've got people that are hungry for real connection. And so if you can offer some real world offline connection, you're giving them what they are going online really for. But they don't realize it. The difficulty in social media, the harshness of social media, really shows up as a lack of interpersonal interaction, and kind of a fake version of the world. But we all experience that online. So if we can find real interaction, then we solve a lot of the angst that we have about our social media interactions. And so being able to provide through Facebook a real connection is a key. Okay, someone else. Okay, we got your hand up, Karen.
I was going to say, I can share. So with all of the updates and changes that we had lately, I've started going back to old consultants, but like old, like I went back through my Facebook and found like posts from 5 years ago of like, who used to be a Scentsy consultant, all those posts that we've done and that never followed up with the people who commented on them. Mm-hmm. So I finally did it. And just highlighting how different things are. And, if there's other people like me who maybe struggled with running multiple fields of income online and that kind of stuff, or fear of doing those kinds of things, that we don't have those struggles anymore because things are different and compliance has loosened and those kinds of things. So finding just people who maybe started as a consultant a long time ago, never really got going or did and then left because they wanted changes and that kind of thing. So I focused on those people first personally, rather than going to the people that I'm already allergic to hearing the word no from.
Right.
I like that, allergic.
Yeah, it's my nervous system is allergic to the word no. I'm really in the wrong field. I've been working on that the last couple of years.
Very true.
So,
yeah.
When we were in London, we had the missionaries and we had to teach them how to talk to people about God. And
in London.
Yeah, you get no all the time. And so how to stay positive and realize they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to what you're offering. So you can't take it personally.
There's a great old YouTube video. I think it's Vin Jiang. No. He's good too. But so there's an old Facebook video, and it's this Asian guy, and
I'll look it up.
It's called Go for No. I think.
Okay. If you can look,
so just Google Go for No, and there's this Asian guy that talks about 100 days of rejection, because he said exposure therapy was the best way. And he was amazed at what he was able to unlock in his life when he was trying to get no's.
Yeah, his whole goal was to try and get a no.
So like he would go into he went into a donut shop and asked them to make donuts in the shape of the Olympic rings. He asked a stranger if he could plant a flower in her backyard. He asked if he could have a burger refill. At a restaurant.
Burger refill.
So anyway, super interesting how
it's a TED Talk.
Yeah.
I can't find
Sometimes your allergy to no might be exposure therapy. And you're right about there are people who say no all the time. It's time to find new people to say no to. or did they say no to you? Yeah.
So it's Gia, Jia, and then last name Jiang. So Jiang.
Zhaijiang.
Jiang.
Yeah.
What I learned from 100 Days of Rejection.
It's a TED Talk. Yeah. So it's great. I recommend it to all of you.
We used to tell the missionaries to watch it too, because they got rejected all the time.
But if you think about 100 people that you interact with every day, what percentage of those people are looking for a way to make their house smell better? What percentage of those people would be able to use another 50 pounds a month for something that they really want, but they just can't fit into their budget? How many of those people are looking for a community because they feel disconnected and are looking for friends?
I think
How many people are looking for personal development? Even if it's just a very small percentage, 2, 3, 4% of the people, that's still 3 or 4 people out of 100. And you interact with 100 people every day if you just go out on the street and walk, right? If you get into Facebook groups, there's 100 people. If you go to church, there's 100 people. If you do anything, you can find 100 people. And know that there's 4 people in that group of 100 that desperately need what you have.
I think listening is one of your best skills. And you listen for cues that people will say. And they might say, I'm working on a small income. I need extra money though. I need ballet shoes for my daughter. So you know what you can offer. They always will say things, and then that's kind of your cue to offer, invite.
And the questions that you ask are trying to identify what their need is. Is their need a little extra income? Is their need friendship? Is their need
all of the above?
Personal development? Is their need just fragrance, right? So it's asking questions and listening. Very, very good. Who else?
Is anyone brave enough?
Yeah.
For mine, I very much still love to party. I'm obsessed with parties. And I love that actually a lot of this training has been talking about parties and how parties can solve most of your problems. And I'm definitely going to be using that phrase with my team a lot, because I do ask people to join my team very regularly. And sometimes you can feel like that bucket's got a little bit empty of who to ask next. But parties is where you keep filling that bucket up. So it was just a really nice reminder of that for me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have forgotten parties or stopped doing parties. And that is probably the best way to have a gathering of people. We just heard, I don't know who it was, but and remind me if you remember the story. They said a consultant had some sort of Easter party or something at her house, and then set up a little party on her front porch for after the Easter egg hunt for people to buy Scentsy. So you could also have easy parties like that where you invite people over. They don't even realize it's a party, and ta-da.
Absolutely love that.
I think the principle of why parties work. So if you can understand why something works, then you maybe go into it with wider eyes and more intention. So what you're trying to do as a Scentsy business owner is expand the network of Scentsy sellers, because that expands your contribution to the sales of the business for which you get paid more, right? we could pay different channels for selling Scentsy. And they would do the same thing, right? We would sell to a broker who might sell into retail chains, and that broker gets paid more if they get more of those retail stores to carry Scentsy. So instead of hiring brokers, we have you consultants, and you get paid more when you have more stores that Scentsy is sold in, right? More stores meaning more people's homes, more people's Facebook pages, more people going out and doing parties,
People.
right? So
Yeah.
Scentsy grows the same way through direct selling as it does through any other channel, and you are the storefront. And you're trying to look for more storefronts, and the more storefronts you can contribute into, the more money you make. That's how this works. What you have to do is get people to have I can do that moments, right? If you were going into stores to get Scentsy, you would take a display into a store and you would want the store manager to say, I can do that. I can make money putting this product in my store. The same thing has to happen in direct selling. You're looking for individuals who have the aha moment, I can do that. Now, the party experience is one where you have multiple people in the group that are being exposed to the I can do that moment at the same time. And so if there are 5 people in the group and one of them says, I can do that in their mind, you might get a recruit. If 2 people at the same time think I can do that, you might get 5 recruits. Because if 2 of 5 turn, the other 3 will say, I don't want to miss out on this, and they'll join also. So what you're trying to do is create experiences where multiple people are making the decision at the same time, because it reinforces each of their decision, and all the people on the fringes that see it also agree, I can do that. When you're talking one-on-one to people, it's very difficult to get that strength in numbers or that peer pressure working on your side. But at a party, it's very easy to get multiple people to come to the conclusion that they can do this at the same time. And that's going to increase your conversion rate. When your ask is to multiple people at the same time, you're going to get far greater adoption, or far more yeses than you will if you ask people privately one-on-one, because the demons in their head are going to say, I can't do that. But when someone else that's like them can do it, they're going to believe they can do it.
That reminds me of one of the activities that we would work on with the missionaries. We called it role play, and we would invite at least 2 people to come up and role play something. And I think that would be a great activity that you all could do. Role playing removes fear and builds your confidence. And so you could go over the responses maybe in the past that you've received, the no's, what they're saying. No, no one's interested. How do you turn no one is interested into a positive, if that makes sense? So how you would respond back. Oh, most people aren't interested until they are. I just keep sharing. That's a positive response back. So removing the fear, doing some role plays on the things people might say and how to turn that into a more something that will get them thinking, oh, I can do this. I can do that.
Yeah, so very good. So these are all insights that are coming from what you already know, right? Because after all of this amount of time,
We're going to have a guest. Come on, move.
Oh my God.
yeah,
He always has to be where we are. so.
Heidi and I don't have much to teach you, but we have a lot of experience, and we can remind you of what you already know. or what other people have taught us,
Yes.
right?
I think one of the other things I hope you all do is share your story. I think that is the number one way to get people to be interested is through you. They connect to you, they join you, not for, our story, the compensation plan or whatever. You're talking with them personally, and so what you're saying is connecting with them. And so don't forget to share your story and why you joined it and what triggered you to decide to be a part of Sensi.
And this is one of the biggest, I think, mysteries of successful direct selling that everybody that does it sees people that are very successful and you think, how do they do it? Because there are always those that are that could be successful in anything, right?
Yes.
If they would have done anything in life, they were going to be successful because they just have that personality, they have the look, they have the energy, they have the support, right? So there are those that do well that make sense. And then there are those that do really well, and at first, it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to them. It didn't make sense to the people around them. It was a complete surprise that they did really well. And I hope that doesn't come across wrong, but I think we've all experienced it, right? I think Heidi and I were that way in direct selling. When we first started Sensi, nobody would have bet on us.
No.
Nobody. And I remember people that knew us before Sensi, when Sensi started to become a name for itself, they would say, well, yeah, but who did you partner with that actually made it work? Who was the brain behind it?
Well, and your mom even kept telling you, you should go get a real job. You should go get a real job.
Yeah. I'm nervous for you. One of our friends said, pulled me aside, Orville, Heidi deserves better than this.
Yeah.
You're kind of, anyway. So yeah, we weren't pegged to be successful. But the secret is they had a story that people connected with, and they were willing to share their story. And the story wasn't a story of, look how good I am, aren't I impressive, see all these impressive things that are accomplished in my life. They had stories that lots of people said, yeah, it's kind of like me, and if she can do it, I can do it. So when you feel like your story isn't enough, it is the same story that most people are experiencing. And so when you tell that story, they connect with it. Most people are just doing their very best, trying to figure life out. So when you tell your story of doing your best, trying to figure life out, that resonates with people. And what you're trying to create are I can do that moments. And the more flashy you are, or the better you are at everything else, the fewer times people will look at you and say, I can do that. Right? The more real you are, the more authentic you are, the more you connect with others, the more people say, I can do that. Okay. Anybody else have a story to share?
Wait, how long are these meetings normally?
We already watched the schedule for you.
We've changed what we were going to do, so we're just going to leave the floor. We've got some questions if we need to.
Perfect.
But are they half an hour? Are they an hour? Are they
about 45 minutes?
Okay, so we got time for a couple more. We have some more points, but we love being able to share the points we have as a response to
Yeah.
stories.
Well, one thing that we've talked about this week is a little bit is scarcity mindset, and not that a lot of consultants have right now with no one wants to buy, no one wants to host, no one wants to join, and changing that again mindset that we have to stop with the scarcity. There's so much opportunity for that out there. So maybe talk on that a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to hold that point, and Jessica also has your hand up, and then we're going to combine them together.
What if it's not? Okay.
Principles can always be combined together.
Okay.
So one thing that I've taken away from this so far is I've just got to get back into partying so that I have more people to talk to. So I've started getting back into doing parties and getting Cincy back out to multiple people at one time.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so much easier than one person at a time. If you could get a group.
Yes. So, scarcity parties. We already talked about how parties create, there's a synergy that happens, an energy of multiple people coming together that happens at a party. And there was a comment from before that tied into scarcity as well.
Do you remember?
I can't remember. So, one of the things that I've been having conversations with people who do, the comment about I'm going back to people who left Cincy a while ago, and because of changes. There are a lot of people that are saying I left Cincy because Cincy's making too many changes. But for everyone that's leaving because we're making changes, there were 2 or 3 that left because we didn't make changes. So it's really just a matter of mindset. And that approach of going back 5, 6, 7 years and talking to people that might have been part of Cincy is an interesting approach, because there are a lot of people who were frustrated about the team that they were in. They were frustrated about the support they didn't get. They were frustrated with maybe policies that we had. Their life was different. And we see this showing up where consultants kind of get out of the Cincy algorithm, out of your own pages, out of your own Facebook groups, stalls at fairs and shows, right? We talk to a lot of consultants who do them, and they're fine. The customers are excited about the product changes, about the branding changes. They're getting a lot of positive reinforcement when they're outside of the Cincy bubble. And scarcity is always one of those things that seems greatest inside of a bubble. When you get outside of that bubble, whether it's at these events where non-Cincy people are dominating and they're seeing Cincy for the first time, or at a party where you have people who are self-selecting in because their friend, your host, is invited them. These are people outside of the Cincy bubble. And those people are really excited about Cincy. And sometimes you'll be shocked because you have this mindset or this belief that has been reinforced over and over and over again by consultants inside the bubble who are struggling relative to the way it was when we had tons of licensed products available to us, tons of good movies, licenses were new. COVID made people look at a world in a different way, and we're open to buying online for the first time, right? All of that newness made things a little easier a few years ago. And because it's not as easy inside the bubble, it seems like things are off. You get outside the bubble and you realize it's not. The brand is as strong the opportunity is as strong, the products are as appealing.
What has gone down, there is something that has gone down, and that is brand awareness. Because we're smaller, not as many people talking about Scentsy. There are many people who don't know about Scentsy. And so that brand awareness has shrunk.
And that's an opportunity, right?
Yeah, a huge opportunity. And I can't even tell you how many people we hear that have lost their Scentsy person. And they're like, how do I order now? I have no idea. And so there are so many lost people that want to find you.
And the other thing is, every year there is a new crop of consumers. Every year there's somebody that's moving into their own home for the first time. Every year there's somebody that has a child for the first time. Every year there's somebody that gets married for the first time. Every year there's somebody that gets laid off. Every year there's somebody that is in a situation where
We just laid off 85 people that would love to be Scentsy consultants, I'm sure.
where Scentsy can, bless our lives. So it's looking for people in transition, and every year there's lots of people in transition. So there is scarcity is most prevalent, or scarcity mindset is most prevalent inside the bubble of a group that was once thriving. And if you want that group to thrive again, you got to get outside the bubble. Parties are a great way of doing it.
I think right now too, there's a lot of, like, the prices of gas have gone up. The world is in this weird funk. I don't know what the heck is going on. This is a time when people look for other things to do that can bring them happiness, because they're in this weird funk. And so there's lots of people looking for happiness, and I think Scentsy brings happiness. So
yeah.
Somebody said too, who was it here? Karen Wilson. Now that they can come back as 100% new consultant, it's a great angle. And I love that. That's so true.
Yeah.
And if the first time around it didn't work out for them, how amazing that they get a second chance to start from scratch.
And
So-
understanding
So
why.
that's how I got to that angle originally, as I'm like, personally, Bubs, come on. Sorry, Prince likes to say hi. Originally, like when I first joined, I earned Shooting Star, but I couldn't afford to buy the kit, and it wasn't a free kit. So now we're talking about sharing. I'm like, okay, this is a live that I will be doing today. Are we continuing that promotion past today?
Ooh.
I don't even, honestly, I don't even know. These ladies would probably know better than I would.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if it was supposed to end today. I've been in my own little bubble, out of the Scentsy bubble for the last few years, and I'm coming out of the bubble now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're in a bubble too. I don't know the answer to that. So as soon as we see the notes for tonight, we'll know. But I don't know. What I do know is coming is the monthly edit that is gorgeous. So I'm excited.
So a couple of other things that, a couple other principles in sponsoring. There is a thing called social proof, right? Where people are looking for evidence that things work. And a lot of times you will see social proof presented when there is no real proof. It's all just hype, right? And you'll see this from time to time. You'll have team members that get completely enamored with a new opportunity, for instance, and there's tons of distraction.
What you're saying,
and you're like,
social proof,
how are you getting distracted by this? Let's look at this like logically, and it doesn't really hold, right? And 6 months down the road, they come and say, oh man, I made a big mistake. That was a waste of my time or energy. This happens all the time, right? But what was attractive to them? It was the social proof. There were people saying positive things over and over again. And, it's really hard to discount something when you get multiple people talking about how wonderful it is. And so, social proof cuts a couple of different ways, right? I've used the example of we're all kind of in a common pasture. Well, if you've ever been into a pasture where there's cows, there's cow pies. That's what we call them here anyway.
Cow piles of poo.
I don't know what you call it, wherever.
Do you call them cow pies? What is that a term there?
Cow pat. That's what they're called here.
They're called what?
A cow pat.
A cow pat. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Same thing, a pile of poo.
So you got them all over the pasture. When you're looking over a pasture, you don't see them. You only see them if you're on top of it, because the grass is growing around, and a lot of times that's where the grass grows the most, right? Is where all that natural fertilizer is. But if you're looking across the pasture and people are in a different pasture, it can look like there aren't any cow pats over there, but there's a bunch of them where I'm at, because you're looking down where you're standing. Now, the worst thing that happens is when someone stands in the middle of the pasture and screams to everybody on the outside of the pasture, look at all the cow pies. Look at all the problems that are here. And because they're highlighting the problems of their own experience, and they're looking at someone else's pasture and they don't see those same problems, and over there nobody's talking about the cow pies. And so they think over there is a beautiful pasture where there are no cow pies, and where I'm at, I've got a bunch of cow pies. So I'm going to be attracted to something else. And then they get there and they realize there are cow pies everywhere. That just happens.
And they have
right?
there's the same rules and the same, all the things.
But because of social proof or social manipulation, they didn't see it or believe it was there because no one was talking about it. And everybody was talking about it when they were in their own bubble. So
Wait. Okay.
that idea of social proof can cut both ways. The one very important principle of sponsoring is creating a culture and an environment that people want to join. And negativity will chase positive people away and attract people who want negative or are fueled by negativity, which is then a doom loop cycle.
Very true.
And people will be interested if the community that they are exposed to is positive, welcoming, open, honest, but not negative.
Yeah.
So you don't have
That's a tough one.
So you don't have to lie that there are no cow pies.
Yeah.
But you also shouldn't highlight the fact that you're standing in a pasture full of cow pies. You can talk about the natural cycles in fertilizer. And so you can talk about those problems in a positive way. And I think that is, and that builds the community, builds trust, builds authenticity. But I think that's a key principle is social proof cuts both ways. And if you want to sponsor people, you have to create an environment that they want to join.
I agree with that. And I think that a simple ways to do that are like when your people join, to like publicly welcome them. Hey, and I see this a lot on Facebook, but everyone should be doing it. Hey, so-and-so joined my team today. Welcome. We're so excited she's here. Sharing small wins, posting about, hey, so-and-so made their first sale, or they had their first party. Way to go. Let's congratulate her. I think that those are the social proof posts that are so positive and that people watch and are like, oh, something's happening over there. People are joining, people are being celebrated and happy. So I think that's what you're talking about, social proof in a positive way.
Yep. Now, I think the last principle we probably have time for is, in order to build that social proof, you have to have positive stories. And to have positive stories, you need to give them a very clear path on what to do to reach the goal that they have set for themselves. So you have to, one, understand what they want. Two, help them articulate it, and then give them a clear path to get what they want. If what they want is 100 pounds this month to, buy a new kit for their football playing kid, then you have to help them figure out how to make 100 pounds. And you break it down. Here's the fastest way, the best way of doing it. If they want to build a team, you need to help them realize that the sooner they get a team member that they can then go on this journey together, the better. So you create a very clear path on how they can find a team member in the next 2 weeks. Find out what they want to validate their decision to join, and then a very clear path to get that first win, and then celebrate that first win. And if they get a first win early, no matter how small it is, they're going to, they're in it.
Those first 72 hours after somebody joins are critical. And that's kind of, they either convert and become a Scentsy consultant, or they drop off. And so have a simple system in place where you can help them get a good start so that they don't drop off. Send your little welcome message, help them with a first post or story, help them write their story, why they join, help them in reaching out to their first few people to share the opportunity with them, help them with their first sales goal. Like, what do you, like he was talking about, is it $100? What is it that you want out of Scentsy? Those early wins build belief and equal retention. That's how people end up staying, is they have early wins. So help them get those early wins.
And by early, I think time binding that earliness matters. The first 72 hours.
Yes.
Right. If somebody is joining, their energy, the decision to join and hitting that button is a big moment. It is an exposing of their vulnerability and their willingness to change something in their life. The sooner they have validation that was a good decision, the longer they will be retained. The longer it takes for them to validate that decision, the more doubt creeps into their mind, and the more ambiguity over their decision emerges. So you want to get it early so that you can help overcome that buyer's remorse, or that maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Yes.
That fear that sets in.
And that's why going back to social proof is so important, because if you're posting right away, welcome so-and-so to our team, that's like hard to back away from right off the bat. So you post about them and their first little wins and stuff, and then they're like, okay, I'm here. These are my people.
Yeah. And this is another reason why flipping parties was so effective. And we got to be careful not to turn your very best hosts into very bad consultants.
Yeah.
So it only works if it is a real solution for them. You don't flip a party because it's good for you. You flip a party because it's good for them. Because if you flip it because it's good for you, that win for you is a very short win, and you have a long tail of frustration. So don't flip parties to fix your problems. Flip parties to fix their problems, and don't flip it unless you are fixing their problem. But a flipped party for somebody who is needing it and interested is a very good way to establish social proof right off the bat and to have a very good 72 hours, because right after they join, they have success and they're looking now forward to a commission check that has already been earned. And that gives you reason to talk to them, delivering the party, talking to their customers, following up with their customers. You have lots of interactions with somebody who was a host first. And this is why partying is one of the best ways of building a direct selling business.
So somebody in the chat, Amanda, said that happened to me. I had a rock star host that joined and she has done nothing. What would you suggest for that? Have you talked to her, Amanda? Okay.
Yes, their interest, not yours. If you focus on other people's needs and you become the solution to their problems, you will have, well, it goes back to the concept of contribute more than you take.
Yeah.
If you're contributing to people's lives, then you have value. And good things flow to value.
Yep. And it is a gift. And if you look at it as a gift, then you are giving something amazing to them. So.
Okay. Thank you all so much for
we
being
actually
here and listening.
have another call at 8 o'clock. So we're going to hop on another one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, leaders, for putting this on. Thank you all for participating.
So much a part of our lives. We love you. We love you. You're in our heart.
And we want to hear your success stories, so make sure you share them.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you.
See you on the call tonight. Maybe some of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye. We love you.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Okay, guys, don't leave yet. Are we all still here?
Anybody else just can listen to them all day?
I was just in a trance. I was just like, I'm here, but oh my God, I've just had an out of body experience.
Yeah, it's the best. Brent kept messaging me and he's like, did you guys fall back asleep? I was like, no, I'm on a Zoom with Sensi mom and dad. I'll be right back.
Oh, no, my husband's ringing. But it is that powerful, and that is why when it connects that deeply, like that's when it's so important to dial in with home office and to get on the calls and to get to the events and to really, oh, honestly, it does. It just makes me emotional. I'm not going to cry today, I promise. But and that's why it's so important. If you know, I'm sorry, girls. I'll just share this, and I know you girls probably all do this too. When people join, I always send them the Sensi Story YouTube video, so they know the company that they are connecting with, the people that they are connecting with, where they came from, so they can learn right from day one that, you know, what they are getting involved in and that. It's a YouTube link. I'll share it in the group.
I think it's worth saying too that like we have to remember that it's 7 a.m. where they are, and they continue to show up for us. They didn't know how many people were going to be on. They just knew that we were doing this, and we asked them to come on, and they said yes immediately. And so I think that's just worth noting that they continue to show up for us in so many ways. And, you know, people still have those negative thoughts, or maybe in the back of your mind, you're questioning something about Sensi, or, you know, there's always questions coming up, but just to remember that, like, they're not just saying it, they're doing it. They're showing up for us. So we got to show up for our own businesses and match their effort too. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. They keep proving over and over that, you know, they're here, they want to help us, they're all in, they're anything. They've never let us down. So
100%. Yeah, there was some great nuggets there as well. Like I was scribbling away notes. I was like, let me write that down. Let me write that down. Like I think just want to touch on one thing that was said in the chat as well about why do we need these like reminders? Because sometimes I think sometimes a lot of the things been hearing even over the last 10 days, right? You know this stuff. A lot of you are like, I know this stuff, but this is why training is so important. I think some people I see some people who are really successful in their business and then they kind of peter off and they kind of lose track with things. And what happens is then they don't turn up to the training because they feel like they know a lot of stuff, right? And then, but what then happens is the trainings like these are where the reminders come in and you're like, oh my God, I knew that, but I'm going to do that today because I've just heard it again. And you can hear it from somebody completely different. For example, like some of my team will be on and be like, oh my God, did you hear that Whitney said XYZ or Katie said this or Laura said this? And I think to myself, I've said that 5 times over, but you hear it from somebody else, you
Yeah.
hear it from Orville, and suddenly you're like, I'm hanging off every word. I am going to go and do those things. So this is why training is so important. We don't put the same trainings on because realistically, this business never changes. Like in the 9 years that I've been doing this, it's still the same. Party, meet new people, ask them to join, get them involved, like make them a customer, bring them in terms of that way over and over again, build relationships with them, ask them to join. If they don't want to join, we get them to club. That those things those actions that will make you the money, that will build your business big over and over again and give you longevity don't change. And therefore, we're not going to train on different things because, and sometimes we probably feel like, oh, should I still do that training? And if you're a leader, this is a real nugget for you. You think, well, why should I keep doing that training? Because they've heard me say these things over and over again. This is a bit of leadership training for you. You keep showing up and you keep doing the trainings to keep reminding people. I feel like I go live once a month to show my team, here's what my borrow bag looks like. Here's what my bag party looks like all the time. I'm not doing it because it's changing. Nothing's changing. But I'm showing you I'm still doing the same actions over and over again to help my team remember, oh, hold on a minute, it's just the same actions. So when you see these trainings being put on by leaders, I know that I'm preaching to the choir a bit, but because you're all here, but sometimes there might be some of you that are like, do you know what? This is the first training that I've like dipped into in the first time in a really long time. Maybe this is the time where you say, actually, there is a lot of training on, but I'm going to commit to X amount of training that's going to help my business, whether that's Spark sessions, whether that's Simply Invite, whether that's things like this, whether it's United We Rise, YouTube, all those different things, because we're still talking about the basics over and over and over again. And that is never going to change, like never going to change. It's never going to change for me anyway. That's all you're going to get from me. You're not going to get like me reinventing the wheel to come up with some new ideas. Don't get me wrong. I see new things that people are trying and I might try them. And I'll give you my perspective on that. But seriously, that should be like a real like eye-opening moment for you guys. Like if you're not doing that, then that's my biggest takeaway from all of that. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant, by the way.
Rant away, girl. It is fine. It is fine. I think one thing that I'd written down as well, I've literally put in capital letters when they said about like shouting at people out publicly and recognizing people, and I literally wrote public on the top of my page because I hear it so many times and I see it, and I literally have been in some people's inbox when people go, I'm really sorry for sharing this on my public profile. I don't normally share something on my public profile. Why? If you are keeping your business a secret, no one's going to know about it. Like it literally, I don't want to say it gets me angry. I'm not an angry person, but I want to shake them and go, oh my God, be proud to be a Scentsy consultant. The amount of people that say, oh, I don't share it on my public profile. You wouldn't open a hairdresser's and then go into the hairdressers every day and sit behind your chair with your scissors, but keep your shutters down and not tell anybody about it. Like it is exactly the same with your Scentsy business. You need to be loud and proud. It's not about arrogance. It's not about you need to be proud. But it's that whole thing, isn't it? Set yourself on fire and people will come. People will be attracted to your energy, to your passion. Not every single person is exactly the same personality. I don't mean that. But if you are not telling people about Scentsy on your personal profile publicly, sorry, I shouted a bit then. How are they going to know? I don't honestly, but it is something I'm so passionate about. I'm like, and when people say, oh, I don't want to annoy people, why? You know, we're not getting into all that mindset of it. But now you need to share publicly. Share your wins. Share when your team have wins. Share when somebody joins. Share when you're on a Zoom. Share when you get some recognition. It's not always about the money. It's about the community and it's about that. And if people don't know what they could be involved in, Like, it's our job to tell them, basically. Do you ask them if you can shout them out before you do? Honestly, no. But yeah, they will soon tell you if they don't want to be. Sorry, rant over again. Sorry. What's it mean to be ranty?
Zoom's playing up, by the way. It's not letting me make all four of us host.
Oh, that's okay. I'll
So if you're wondering why I'm like playing about with it, I was trying to do that. I don't ever ask anybody. I'm just like, I just shout them out, and then if need be, they've got those settings right on their thing which says like that they can't, like if you tag me in something, I have to approve it. But so if you've got that set up that way, guys, then, and if your teamies have got that set up, then that works. I'm just thinking time-wise, guys, we've kept you on for like an hour, and I know, Law, you're going to have to go and pick up Finley soon. So we can hold what we have got for tomorrow. Did anyone have any specific questions? Like, well, Katie, did you want to add anything? I know I can't make you host for some reason.
It's okay. I'm just going to say one thing and then I'm going to hop off.
Okay.
I swear. Just one thing. I'm not going to a ramble. But listening to Orville and Heidi speak, every time I hear Orville and Heidi speak, it breathes life into me. This is why trainings are important, just like Lisa said. Especially for leaders, because leaders, you're pouring into everybody else, and often you don't have people pouring into you. You're not going to have a constant cheerleader especially if you have a sponsor that's absent. If you have a sponsor or upline that just sucks, I'm just going to say it, that just sucks. I want you to remind yourself that this is your business and this is your life. You don't need somebody cheering you on all the time. I didn't. My sponsor quit shortly after I joined. And I had to YouTube. Katie Farner actually taught me how to do home trainings. I literally watch YouTube trainings all day in between patients. Because it breathes life into you. So if you've never been to home office, if you've never went to an event, number one, I want you to go. I want you to go. Especially if you say, I'm not good enough. There goes the phone. I'm not good enough. I'm not one of these people. I just want to encourage you that nobody is. Okay? Nobody is. Your reason for doing this business has to be bigger and has to be greater than your fears. It has to be. My kids push me every single day. If I wouldn't have had Aiden and Brinley, I wouldn't be in this business. I'm just saying. My kids have pushed me every single day. And I sat there listening to Orville and Heidi, and I was sobbing, crying. I had to take my video off a couple times because I'm pretty sure it was ugly crying. Ugly crying. Because I'm forever grateful for a decision that I made 9 years ago that changed my life. And there's power in sharing it. I'm from an itty bitty town. I'm literally in a Food Line parking lot doing this training and about to go drop an order off. And 9 years ago, I lived paycheck to paycheck. 9 years ago, my son, when I got pregnant with my son, for those that don't know my story, I was told I'd never get pregnant. I got pregnant with my son. I got put on bed rest at 36 weeks, but I didn't have enough PTO. If I would have took PTO at 36 weeks to be on bed rest, I would not have been able to be home with him after I had him. So I saved up all of my PTO time to have exactly 4 weeks, and I had 4 weeks home with him. And I still, to this day, remember the feeling I had when I dropped him off at daycare at 4 weeks old, and that feeling sucked. I prayed for this baby my entire life. Something I told I would never have. And then I had him and I had to leave him. That was my drive. Okay. I wasn't on my phone. Can I have your phone at work when you're a nurse? I didn't have social media. I worked my butt off for 2 years while I was a full-time nurse with a newborn, with the only thing in my head that said, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because I didn't want to live like that for the rest of my life. I didn't want to live like that the rest of my life where I was choosing a job over my child. And it's a pain like no other. A pain. So if you hear, no, I want you to listen. You have to want it so damn bad that nothing will keep you from it. You know what my motto to Jason Harwork is always, I work my business and mind my business. I have no idea what's going on the official director page. I have no idea what's going on when people leave Scentsy. I have no idea negativity. I don't know. Because I work my business and I mind my business because I do this for my kids. Not for my sponsor, not for my superstar director. I do this business for my kids, and you have to share that. I live in an itty bitty town, and people are inspired that I get to go on trips, and I'm in a parking lot at 10 o'clock when I would have been at work at 6:30 leaving my kids. I get to make cupcakes. I get to go to the Easter egg hunt. I get to do all of these things and be financially free and not live paycheck to paycheck and have the biggest dream of my entire heart to be with my babies. So stop being fearful of the things that you want and stop being fearful of sharing the things that this business does for you. Because nobody can do it for you but you, not your sponsor, not a motivational training. Nobody can do it for you. You have to decide in your mind that, you know what, I'm going to ask and ask and ask and ask, and I don't care if I get ignored and if I get no, because at the end of the day, the best people in this business are the ones that had no choice. I had no choice but to make this work. And you have to decide, like it's a do or die thing, because for me, it was do or die. It was, do you want to keep living like this? Do you want to keep living like this? Do you want to keep living your kids? Or do you want to ask somebody to have a party? And when you put those two beside each other and say, I want to be with my kids, oh, but I'm so scared to talk to people. Your fear goes out the window because your desire is greater than your fear. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I gotta go meet this customer. She done messed me. Now I gotta, I live 40 minutes from my house, y'all. It's my husband's birthday. I gotta go decorate the house. But I love y'all.
Mic drop. Mic drop. There she goes.
Bye.
Bye now.
I love y'all. But I got to go.
She drops it and then she runs.
Y'all, just please, for the love of Jesus, put your blinders on. Who gives a fart what people are doing? Nobody cares. I have no clue. When people say, oh my God, did you hear that such and such left Cincy? She's been with Cincy for 20 years. It's not my business. I work my business and I mind my business. And when you put blinders on, you don't give a fart what anybody's doing. They can, look, when Cincy made all these changes about the active, and people were fired up, I was so confused because that's bare minimum. Why y'all getting hot and mad over bare minimum? Y'all want bare minimum results? Y'all getting pissy and ticked off over $50? $50 in a whole year? Y'all really getting worked up over bare minimum? Don't affect me because I don't do bare minimum. Raise the standards to $2,500. I already have $2,500 PRV a month. Don't affect me because you can't be bare minimum. Bare minimum gets you bare minimum results. And we ain't got time for bare minimum. Don't change your life, ladies and gents. Bare minimum don't get you where you want to go in life. And I'm made for more out of this business, and you're made for more out of this business. You didn't join for bare minimum. All right, I got to go to Joco. I love y'all.
Right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. On that note, we will see you tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, guys. Bye, everyone.
Boom.
Bye, guys.